Hey guys, due to popular demand, here it is, my thoughts on the 2010 Tokyo Game Show. Yeah, it ended like a week ago, but whatever, YouTube video. Two things before we start out. One, I want to say thank you to everybody who gave me suggestions on how to get rid of my cold. For the most part, it is going away. I've tried the whole honey and tea thing. I have cough drops, humidifier. So I want to say thank you for everybody for that. Hopefully this will go away in the next couple days because I don't like doing videos sick because it makes my videos, the quality go down, because you guys have to listen to a guy with a nasally voice talk about info and, that just doesn't work out for me, and keep having to every 5 seconds, And the second thing I want to mention is that this list is only compiled on the things that I thought were really great at the Tokyo Game Show. So there might be some things that you thought were great on Tokyo Game Show that aren't on my list and vice versa. So, let's get started with what I thought was interesting. A couple of you guys had a sneak peek of my thoughts from my live Ustream broadcast last night at 2 a.m. Thanks to the 400 people who came at 2 a.m. to watch me on Ustream. You guys freaking rock. I love you. So let's get started. First thing of interest to me from the Tokyo Game Show was there's a new Dead Rising 2 paid demo. That's right, if you want to call it a demo. It's the sequel to Dead Rising Case Zero, and it's going to be called Dead Rising Case West. This will contain a meetup from Frank West from Dead Rising 1, and there will be some type of co-op elements with Chuck Green from Dead Rising 2. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that's going to work out. And I'm really looking forward to Dead Rising 2 when it comes out next week. I'm not going to be picking the game up because there are too many other games on the agenda to pick up, but I will, give it a rent around Thanksgiving break when I have some time to play some games. So that's pretty great. Next thing, which is what me and my friend June were freaking going crazy about, Valkyria Chronicles 3. Yes, that's right, we're getting a third Valkyria Chronicles. Now, you guys already know how much I love Valkyria Chronicles. I prefer that game 10 times over Final Fantasy 13, just a matter of opinion. And we're getting a third. It was actually leaked a couple of days before the actual Tokyo Game Show on Sega's lineup. So, it was like, whoa, no one even knew this game was coming. Two things about it that really, raised some eyebrows. The first thing is, they're releasing the game a year later. It's coming out January 2011, which I'll elaborate on later. And the next thing is it's on the PSP. Now, with it being on the PSP, it doesn't really bother me to an extent, except that, I would have loved it on the PS3, how beautiful Valkyria Chronicles 1 was. But Valkyria Chronicles 2 still proved to be a pretty good game, so if it's on the PSP, they can nail it down right if that's what they want to do to release it in a year, then okay, because they already have the models and stuff made for the PSP, so they can just go from there and make the game like that, so that's great. The fact that they're doing it a whole year, it is kind of annoying because, we just got Valkyria Chronicles 1 like a couple weeks ago, and now they're coming out with the third one. It's just like, whoa, you gotta calm down with this stuff, So that does kind of raise some eyebrows, but hopefully, more gamers will buy the Valkyria Chronicles series, and then we might see another one on the PS3 because it is a really, really underrated RPG outside. The only RPGs this generation that are actually making a lot of money are Final Fantasy, and that's pretty sad to say, since all Square Enix is doing is making ports, spin-offs, and remakes of all their games. That's pretty bad. Now, speaking of Final Fantasy, okay, let's go on with this one. There was new leaked gameplay of Final Fantasy Versus 13 and Final Fantasy, hope I pronounced this right, Agito 13, yeah, fuck, the one coming out for PSP. Guys, it was like maybe 20 seconds of leaked gameplay, and you could barely make out what was going on screen, so it's not like, oh my god, jizz in your pants. I mean, I was talking to people, they say they're gonna need buckets to fill up from all this jizz, It was okay, but I would have preferred another trailer to, quench our appetite. I mean, because this game, Verse 13, ain't coming out for maybe another 2 years, so they should have given us at least a trailer or something, because, goddamn it. I mean, you got the team who did Advent Children behind the CGI and stuff, and then you got the Kingdom Hearts team making the gameplay, so I'm like, it's a perfect combination, but we're gonna have to wait maybe another 2 years to get it. And Final Fantasy Agito 13, not really interested in this game at all. Possibly I might pick it up if I actually enjoy what I see in the next coming months. And speaking of the PSP, Dissidia 2. Now, I'm not going to call it its full title, Final Fantasy Duo Dissidium Decrum. The long-ass title that nobody can pronounce. I'm just going to stick with Dissidia 2, you guys. I don't care what anybody says, it's just Final Fantasy Dissidia 2. I'm not pronouncing the long-ass title. Lightning was confirmed as a playable character, which is pretty awesome because Lightning was the best part out of Final Fantasy 13. She kicked major ass. I don't care what any of you guys say, Lightning was freaking awesome. She didn't really have a full personality, but yeah, she was still pretty cool. I would also like to see more characters from other game series in the Square genre appear in Dissidia, like possibly some characters from Kingdom Hearts, maybe like the unknown Like, you know, the guy in the mask in Kingdom Hearts, you know, Xemnas. There we go, Xemnas. You know, I like to see at least maybe him and his Organization 13 outfit appear in the game, you know. Just more characters, you know, just more characters from other series, like more crossovers. I would just love to see that. And also for the PSP, I think it's the last PSP game we're talking about here, I believe so, the Third Birthday. New trailer, new scans, new pictures. Now, I don't know anything about the Third Birthday or the series that it was supposedly spawned off from. I think the Parasite Eve series. But when I saw that E3 trailer during Sony's PSP montage, Sony and their montages, I was like, oh my god, where's this game been all my life? You know, it looks great. It looks like a great action RPG, you know. It looks great, you know. I'm probably going to pick it up because I just love the look of the gameplay. Graphics are incredible. It looks freaking cool. A new Dissidia game. Great, great. If you guys have never given Dissidia a chance, definitely pick up Dissidia 2 on the PS, I think it was on the PSP, Dissidia 3 on the PS3. It's a great RPG series, probably nothing you've played like in a while. And a brand new Phantasy Star game coming out. Great. I don't know much on Phantasy Star except for the handheld games on the PSP, but good job. From the creators of Demon's Souls, a new game tentatively titled Project Dark. That's not the full title. And it's coming out for both the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Now, that is really awesome. You know, not the fact that it's being multi-platform, but that is really awesome because if you guys have never played Demon's Souls, I will tell you this. If Uncharted 2 did not win Game of the Year, Demon's Souls would have won it. I don't care what you guys say, Left 4 Dead 2, Halo 3, ODST. No. Demon's Souls was probably, after Uncharted 2, the best game of 2009. I don't care what anyone says. It was just a unique RPG, probably nothing like you've played before. And it's really hard. Like, this is not the game that you'd play if you want to get away from life. I mean, you really have to, like, just have a patience when playing this game because you will die a lot in the game. The whole point of the game is to die a lot. And, you know, hey, but it's a pretty unique game. It's on Sony's greatest hits now. So pick it up for $30 on PS3. You will not be disappointed if you like that kind of gameplay, you know? So this new game, we don't really know too much about it, but if it's being made by the guys who did Demon's Souls, it's going to be awesome. And a new game from CyberConnect 2, the creators of the Dot Hack series, and I believe it was Capcom, called Asura's Wrath. Now, some people have said that Asura's Wrath looks very much like a God of War clone, but on steroids, so that's going to be pretty interesting to see. And, you know, CyberConnect 2, like, for the past couple of years, they haven't been making too many great games aside from Naruto. I mean, all they've been doing is making Naruto games on the Sony side. So a new game, that's going to be freaking awesome to see what they're going to do. And new information regarding Dead Space 2 Limited Edition on the PS3. On the Limited Edition, we already know you get Dead Space 2 plus Dead Space Extraction, ported from the Wii, but with PlayStation Move controls. Interesting thing about this are 3 key points. 1, you will not need to use the PlayStation Move controller to play Dead Space Extraction. You can use your PS3 controller. 2, Dead Space Extraction will be available on the PlayStation Store as well as on disc-based. And number 3 is that apparently it got a really big upgrade as far as graphics, textures, physics, you know, which I cannot wait to see. I mean, come on guys, if you own a PS3 and a 360 and you want to get Dead Space 2, go for the PS3 version. You're getting more bang for your buck with these games. I mean, like EA and Sony and all these deals, it's just ridiculous, you know? So Dead Space 2, I can't wait for. I'm pretty skeptical about it. I really am skeptical because, see, they announced that Dead Space would have like some sort of multiplayer component, which is where I raised my eyebrow. Because, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting sick and tired of all these great epic single-player games such as Bioshock and Dead Space being forced to move into multiplayer because they're afraid people won't buy it because it's not like Call of Duty or Halo. That is complete and utter bullshit. I am really tired of this because these games would have just worked beautifully if they were just single player. Most developers, if they can get the online right, like Left 4 Dead, they can do it, but most developers, they're just trying to follow the style of Call of Duty. That's what Bioshock did. And Bioshock is not meant to be a first-person shooter like Call of Duty, you know? I'm getting sick and tired of this stuff. It's ridiculous. I'll do a video on it later, but damn. And Heroes on the Move still disappoints me. Like, when I first heard this game was announced at E3 2010, I was ecstatic about it. All of the greatest Sony, you know, how can I say this, kid-friendly avatars or icons come together in one epic game. You know, that was going to be awesome, but then it's like all kiddish and stuff. And from what I've heard, this will only appeal to kids because they said that the motion controls aren't really that far from gimmicky. They're mostly just gimmicks, which is pretty sad to say. To see that, because I was looking forward to this game. It would have been awesome. I mean, just because it's a collab game doesn't mean it's going to be a kiddie game. They could have pulled this off right, but from what I've seen, it is really disappointing. Heroes on the Move. Hopefully they fix it up like before it comes out, because if they don't, I'm just not going to buy it. Alright, we got 3 things to talk about before we finish. Let's start off with what I was most excited about and what made me jizz my pants. The Last Guardian. We are finally getting a release date. Holiday 2011, Last Guardian hit stores. Team Ico, I am so freaking glad about this because have been anticipating The Last Guardian ever since they announced it. And you guys who do not know Team Ico, they're behind the masterpieces, as I've said before, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus for the PS2. Now we're getting a release date for The Last Guardian, which is their next masterpiece on PS3. Holiday 2011, I just can't wait for it. It looks beautiful. It just seems like it's going to be a great game. And also, Team Ico, double ownage at the Tokyo Game Show. This has been rumored for the past couple of months, but we finally got a confirmed release date for this. The Team Ico collection hits stores spring 2011. Now, Team Ico, props to you guys. You guys just freaking owned it at the Tokyo Game Show. Like, no joke, this was the highlight for me. In the Team Ico collection, they're doing similar to what they're doing with the God of War and the Sly Cooper collection. You're getting Ico for the PS2 and Shadow of the Colossus for the PS2. One Blu-ray disc, $40 with HD visuals and upgraded textures and models, trophy support, and one of the coolest things about it is it's going to be in 3D. Now, whoa, Neo, I thought you said you hated 3D. But I'm willing to make an exception for this game. If you guys ever played Shadow of the Colossus on the PS2, you guys know that the whole point of the game was just to defeat boss battles. There was no main, big, huge story in it. And there were, I think, 16 bosses, I believe, and the whole point, like I said, was to beat bosses. And you'd have, like, these crazy epic bosses, and the camera angles would just, they'd just be epic, you know? So I am so glad that that's going to be in 3D, because if they can nail it right, it's just going to own. It's going to be freaking beautiful to see that. I just cannot wait to see how that's going to work out. So Team Ico, once again, you guys get a round of applause. And, of course, the last one and the most controversial of them all. DMC. Yes, Devil May Cry is getting a reboot. A few things to go on with that. Well, it's not going to be developed by the main creator of the Devil May Cry series. I forget his name. It was on the top of my head. Really good guy, though. It's going to be created by Ninja Theory with collaborations from Capcom. Now, if you guys don't know who Ninja Theory is, they've done some games over the years, but I'd say their most popular one was Heavenly Sword on the PS3. It was an exclusive. It was really underrated. People considered it a God of War clone at first when they saw it, but if you actually played it, it's pretty freaking awesome. I do warn you though, it's pretty short. You can beat it in 6 or 7 hours, so if you want to have a good experience for a weekend, I'd say rent the game if you can find it. It's getting pretty rare to find right now. So they're handling this new Devil May Cry game, and from what we've seen in the trailer of it, you know, a lot of fans are disappointed in why they're going with this reboot. You know, I don't really see it as a big problem because I like the Devil May Cry games, I played them, but I'm not a huge hardcore fan, so it does not affect me as much as it would the others. But the one problem that people are, you know, complaining about is this guy right here. Oh, hi, Dante. Wait, you're Dante? Are you related to Sasuke or something? Because, you know, you look strikingly like Sasuke, just cut his hair off, but, you know, metrosexual. Yeah, he does look more metrosexual now than ever. So Dante's new design really may raise some more eyebrows. But you guys have to look at it, this is a reboot, it's a reimagining of Dante, so they are going to have to change some things up. I know what the hardcore fans are feeling, this is pretty much, you know, a big slap in the face, but the guy who made the Devil May Cry games isn't making them anymore. You have to consider that. Would you really want a Devil May Cry game without him being in charge, you know? I sure wouldn't want that. You know what I'm saying? Would you want a Kingdom Hearts game without Tetsuya Nomura involved? I mean, it's the same basic concept of it. So this whole reboot for Devil May Cry, it is both good and bad. I mean, we're getting a new Devil May Cry game, and if you could actually pull off the combat that was in that trailer, it's going to own on the combat part. But for all the hardcore fans, I don't really know what to say to you because I have no ground on this whole thing, you know, because I enjoy the game, so it's not a big deal to me. But, yeah, you can say what you want about the Devil May Cry reboot. There's more hate than, you know, liking for it. So, you guys, those are my full thoughts on the Tokyo Game Show. I hope I can fit this under 15 minutes, because if I don't, we're going to be in some trouble. I really enjoyed it. I thought it owned every developer. They did a great job. And there was a lot of surprises, such as hardcore Connect games, huh? Oh, yeah, sure. So I really enjoyed this, you guys. I might be on Ustream later tonight. If you can catch me there, we can talk about some more stuff. I'm NGS signing out. Catch you guys later.